Since the Russian army invaded Ukraine, most of the major media outlets here in the West have felt that they had an unconditional obligation to support Ukraine, which is fine though. It really is. It just strikes me that the West sometimes doesn't take its own principles too serious. I will explain what I mean by that in a moment, but before I do that, I have a few questions for all of you out there. The first question is it okay if a vastly superior country attacks a smaller country and occupies its territory? No. Second question, is it okay if the attacking country justifies its actions with the protection of an ethnic minority in the war zone? No. Third question, don't you need the approval of the United Nations Security Council for a military intervention in a foreign country? Yes. Fourth question, the attacked people who bravely put up a fight and give everything to defend their own country, are these people heroes or war criminals? Heroes? Okay then. Here's the fifth and final question. Are the declarations of solidarity by the Western media and state institutions in form of hoisting the national flag of the attacked country and condemnation of the alleged aggressor positive? Yes? Okay then, I want to know the following from you. If it's not okay for a military stronger country to attack a smaller and weaker country, why didn't you raise your voice when 19, I repeat, 19 NATO countries bombed a small country called Serbia, and among these 19 states were all the countries with the highest military budgets in the world? I mean, we're talking about the United States of America, Great Britain, Germany, France, and 15 other countries. Where were your mass protests back then, you hypocrites? And that's not all. So, the argument that Russia justifies the war in Ukraine with the protection of the oppressed Russian minority there is just a lame excuse for the war, huh? Okay, why wasn't that an excuse in 1999 when 19, I repeat, 19 NATO countries bombed a small country called Serbia? At that time, NATO's argument back then was the protection of the Albanian civilian population in Kosovo. And by the way, as a God-fearing man, I wish every single killed Albanian civilian that he can rest in peace and that God has been merciful to his soul, of course. But I have a huge problem with hypocrisy, which is why I make this comparison, obviously. So, what's up now? Yes or no? Well, with you, it's sometimes yes, sometimes no. You hypocrites. But that's not all. So, you need an UN mandate, in other words, the consent of the United Nations for a military intervention in other countries. Then why did 19, I repeat, 19 NATO countries bombed a small country called Serbia without UN mandate? That was something else. You hypocrites. And that's not all. So, the defenders are heroes of war who defended themselves against the overpowering enemy, huh? Okay, why was the inferior Serbian army not heroic in your narrative when 19, I repeat, 19 NATO countries bombed a small country called Serbia? You even called them war criminals in your media. You hypocrites. But that's not all. So, it's good that the national flag of the attacked country is hoisted and shown everywhere out of solidarity, huh? Okay then. But where was your solidarity in 1999 when 19, I repeat, 19 NATO countries bombed a small country called Serbia? Where were your Serbian flags on your town halls, huh? You hypocrites. Double standards are used here. The victims of war are only relevant if they just fit into a certain picture. But we righteous people will never forgive you for what you have done to Serbia and to Iraq and to all of these innocent, poor states. Look at this sweet little angel right here. Look at this sweet, innocent child. Her name was Milica. She was bombed in an act of terrorism by a NATO pilot and was killed at the age of 2. Completely pulverized, barbaric and murderous. Have the pilots ever been in court or in jail for this? Where were your repair payments to the state of Serbia for the complete destruction of the whole country? There was no justice at all, because you guys are hypocrites. And by the way, this photo here is a photo of a bomb attached to an American fighter airplane that bombed innocent Serbs. Look at it. How perverted and evil you are. And they want to talk about human rights? They really want to tell me something about human rights? You hypocrites, jemach šmovi zihro nisarf baginum b'nei zonot, da vas dragi Bog kazni za to što ste učinili. But at the end of the day, Serbia has still successfully managed to rebuild its country. And oh boy, Belgrade is now even more beautiful than ever. After 4,500 years of history, the Serb people are still around. And we will be still around to the second coming of the Messiah, Yeshua. That's for sure. And I know you guys hate that, but that's the truth. My name is BELKASON and you are watching the Serbo-Hebrew.